come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra, read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra, read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra, read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Look, mile like 3-6, pulled up, ski trip, cold winter. All my niggas eating good, I remember when we had no dinner. West side, east side, no side, both sides fucking with me. Check, coming, check, leaving flex season, fuck 12, come and get me. Get your ass to run around, high speed, chasing all the big bags. Bending corners, bending rules, bending necks, give your bitch a whiplash. Slide through, hot knife, warm butter storm, gutter drain lane. Young man, old habit, still at it, tryna let my chain hang. True story, new story, 2-story, condo, B&B. 4 bath, 1 me, no key, like I did a B&E. B&Me so good, so hood, so not worried about it. 250,000 new views, old news, know you probably heard about it. Extra, extra, read about it, headline, word around town, flexing. Ballin' on my course, so I ain't worried about nobody out of bounds, stressing. Feeling like Hercules, murder these pussies ain't a problem to me. Tried to tell the maid service, don't come unless you bringin' condoms to me. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra, read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra, read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out.
Let me know where you checking in from.
Moving, shaking, coming down, tipping, stacking, racking.
As you come in, let me know where you checking in
coming
from.
down, tipping, stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down, tipping, stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down, tipping, stacking, racking, money, power flipping.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Let me know where you're checking in from. Let me know where you're checking in from as you come into the room, as you come into the chat. Let me know where you're checking in from. We got Denver in the building. We got DC in the building. All right, we switching it up tonight, guys. We doing things a little different tonight. Trying to get organized here real quick. I got caught off guard. Had a call off today. Had to cover a route, so I had to rush back home because I promised this show, and I don't like to disappoint. I like to keep my word. My word is my bond. So even though my day went to the left, I still want to commit to my obligations. Let me know where you're checking in from as you come in. Let me know where you're checking in from. We got VA in the building. Where all my regulars at? Where all my regulars at? All right, so we got a few topics we're going to talk about tonight. I'm going to let the room build up a little bit more, and then we'll get into it. I'll drop the link a little bit later for anybody that wants to come on to the live. Just getting organized here. I had to rush back to the crib. I'm telling you, man. Everybody that want to get into this game, I'm telling you, one of the hardest things about this game right now is employment. You know, employment is a tough part of the game right now. So, you know, that's one thing to think about as you get into the box trucking or any business. Let me know where you're checking in from as you come into the room, and then I'll get into it. I'm gonna start talking a little bit. We switching things up. Now we're getting a little bit more professional with it. You guys asked me to continue to do these live streams every Tuesday night, Sunday night, Tuesday nights. I opted for Tuesday because Tuesdays are just a little bit easier for me. We've been doing it for about a month and a half, 2 months now. But since it's becoming a consistent thing, then it's time to step it up, make it a little bit more professional. I'm coming for that number one spot as far as this box trucking. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving out a lot of free gems, a lot of free jewels. I try to give out as much knowledge as I can as time permits. I've been on here, 4 months now? And in 4 months, I've already thrown out damn near 100 videos of a lot of gems explaining the differences in lanes and box trucking from final mile to middle mile, Amazon relay. I try to cover it all from legal aspects to, you know, entering into the game, my experiences in the game so that you guys don't uh, hit some of the hurdles and the roadblocks that I hit. So this 13 years of experience that I got, hopefully it helps out some of you guys so that you guys can get ahead in this game. What's up? Let me know where you're checking in from. Let me know where you're checking in from as you come into the room. Just letting the room build up a little bit. So yeah, we go ahead and switch it up. Since we're gonna do that, we're just gonna make it a little bit more professional. We're gonna actually have an actual outline of what I'm going to discuss every Tuesday night, and then we'll do the infamous Q&A session at the end. All right, because the Q&A session seems to go very long. I think the not the last live stream, but like two live streams ago, two Tuesdays ago, maybe 3 Tuesdays ago, it went so long I was streaming for 7 hours. I mean, I love to sit here and answer questions for 6 7 hours, and I've done it on 3 or 4 different occasions, but time doesn't allot for me to do that every Tuesday. So I'm going to try to keep the live stream. I can hang out for about 2, maybe 3 hours, but we'll try to cut it down, and then I'll answer the questions at the end. So we're gonna go over some topics, and then we'll get to the Q&A. We got Denver, we got Pittsburgh, we got VA, we got Miami, and we got Inglewood, Florida. Now you can ask your questions in the chat, and then when I get to the Q&A part, if I need to go back and scroll back up, I will do that. All right. And then I'm going to do some screen grabs. I'm going to share my screen on a few different things I want to talk about. I actually had a guest I invited, but they kind of, well, you know what? They didn't even back out. They just opted out. I wasn't going to press them, but I did want to ask them some questions because a lot of people in the game, this one topic that I'm going to discuss is not in the outline, but is rental trucks, the scarcity of rental trucks. So I was going to try to make that happen for you guys this week, but it's not. Crystal Lake, Illinois in the building. Roy Perry. It's about an hour. Takes me about an hour and 30 minutes to get to Crystal Lake from Chicago. Mobile, Alabama. Inglewood, Florida. All right, so let's get into it. Box truck prices dropping. We got 20 people in the room, so let's roll. Box truck prices are dropping. All right, so we know that there's scarcity as far as trucks in the box truck game right now for on the rental side, right? And we know that the rates for box trucks as far as to buy them used and new were high as hell earlier this year. And now when I first got on YouTube about 4 months ago, my earlier videos, you can go back and watch them. And I got some flack. Some people pushed back, but I said this was going to happen. I said, wait. I got a few videos where I said, don't jump into the game right now. Wait, the prices are going to come crashing down. I told y'all this. All right. Has nothing to do with box trucking. That's just economics. All right. And here we are. Now, I was off by a few months. I said December, January. All right. We're just going into September, and I'm looking at trucks for 19, 28, 30,000, 26-foot box trucks. All right. So with the scarcity of rentals and at the rate that the box trucks are going down, I think now is a great time to buy a box truck. These rates are very low. I'm going to share my screen. I've been monitoring Penske used truck sales for about the past week now, and they're throwing trucks up. I don't know if these are all their trucks. Some of them are their trucks, and then some of them may be on consignment. If they do consignment, that they're selling for other people. But what I want to do now is I want to take a look at it with you guys real quick. And I'm just going to share my screen, and we're going to go take a look at some of these trucks really fast. Let's do this. Let's go here. All right, give me 1 second. Just make sure I'm set up right. Where do I want to put myself? Give me 1 second. We'll put myself in the corner. All right, so let's go over here. All right, so I already got it pulled up. Let's do this. We're looking for cheap, right? We're looking for cheap trucks. So let's do this. Where is my search? Hold on. Clear these filters real quick. Let's match. We're going to go lowest to highest. I got 26-foot box. Hold on. I thought I put it in here. And we're gonna go out 250 miles from my location for 26-foot box, and then we're gonna go lowest to highest. All right, so boom. And I just want to explain this too. Here's a 2004 International with 354,000 miles. Hey, if you take your mechanic with you to go look at this truck is what, 16 years old, 7 to 18 years old. If your mechanic says, man, this is a good truck, then I say go for it. All right. 354,000 miles, 20,000. It's an older truck. But if you're looking to get into the game right now and you take a mechanic with you and he gives you the thumb up and says, man, this truck will run you and you can get some money out of this truck, I think this is a good price. All right. You got a Hino here. This is a 338. So that's a CDL truck. So we're not even going to waste our time looking at it. You got 2011 International right here. This has a double axle. So we already know that's a CDL, so we're not going to waste our time looking at that. All right, here's a 07 Hino 268. We know this is a non-CDL truck. Has 272,000 miles. All right, yes, the truck is a little bit older, but $38,000 right now for a truck is a good price. I'm not saying this may be the best truck for you, but if you take a certified mechanic with you and he gives you the thumbs up, then I say, hey, go for it. People ask me all the time, I want a new truck. I want a new truck. I want to jump in the game with a new truck. And I say, why do you want to jump into the game with a new truck? It's uncertainty there. You don't know if you're even going to stick in the game. This truck has a lift gate, and the lift gate is operable. It works. All right. So me personally, I'm jumping into the game right now. I'll buy this truck. If I took a mechanic with me and he gave me the thumbs up, at everything that's been going on with the lack of rental trucks, the waiting list from 3 months to a year I've been getting, to the truck prices that we were dealing with earlier this year and late last year, then hey, I would go for this truck, if you take a mechanic with you. All right, here's a Freightliner. This is an M2. Some of these M2s are CDLs, some of them are non-CDLs. You got to kind of look at the specs. But these Freightliners 2014, 361,300, these are good prices. These are a little bit higher on the mile side. I like to stick around 250. When I go look for used trucks, I try not to go over 250, but in these times, dealing with what we're dealing with now, sometimes you got to alter what you're used to, searching for, used to dealing with. So I may go up an extra 50,000 miles and I may spend 40,000. But these are pre-pandemic rates, guys. So now is the time to buy a truck. Now is the time to buy a truck. The rates are coming down. Now, enterprise used truck sales, their rates are still kind of on the high side. I don't recommend anybody go to Ryder for anything. Renting, leasing, buying, they're gonna always be your highest option. But if you're in a situation you got to do what you got to do, then you got to do what you got to do. But make sure that if you're jumping in with a high overhead, make sure you know how to do your calculations. Don't jump in and be spending all this money and this high overhead and you're not making no money. You're just doing this shit for fun, and this ain't for fun. This is to make a profit. You can make a lot of money at this game if you know your margins and you know how to calculate your costs. And I talk about this and I reiterate this stuff all the time. So once again, I'm saying it because I said it 4 months ago. I said the prices would come down. I was off by a few months. I admit that. I said December. I said January. All right. Prices came down and they came down hard. I didn't even continue to scroll. Like I can scroll, and you'll see a lot of those prices 40, 50,000. These trucks were $85,000 3-4 months ago. These trucks don't even cost $85,000 brand new. All right. So now is the time. I say forget those waiting lists. If you got good credit, decent credit, I say, man, go buy you a truck. Now is the time. UST versus and Lowe's. Another thing about trucks. UST is giving guys an opportunity to get into the industry, and you don't even have to have your own truck. All right. So what's going on? And UST is a final mile company. So for anybody interested in getting in the final mile lane, and you're trying to get in, you got your EIN, you got your LLC or your incorporation, you got your DOT, all your paperwork. You just don't have a truck. Here's a way to get in. So UST will give you a contract and they will provide you the truck. All right. Free of charge. All right. So now you just cut out a big part of your overhead. They're borrowing you the truck, so they're going to cover all the costs associated with the truck, the fuel, the maintenance, all that. So you're just going out and doing the labor. You're just going out and doing the labor. The reason why UST is doing it, obviously, because there's a shortage of contractors, probably due to people that are looking to enter into the space, and there's just no trucks available, or the trucks have been very high. So you're seeing companies that are introducing this new model where they're having to provide the trucks for contractors. Their business is 100% based on ICs. ICs are independent contractors. All right. So these companies, these logistics companies, have these multi-million-dollar contracts and accounts with the retailers. When they go into these sales meetings and they pitch their business model to Wayfair and to Home Depot, they're promising these companies that they can provide final mile delivery for their company on a national scale, national, all across the country, by hook or by crook, regardless of what's going on in the world. Pandemic hits and everything that hit within the past 2 years that caused what we're going through now with the scarcity of trucks and the scarcity of people and all that stuff. At the end of the day, they still have an obligation to fulfill, right? Because they went in there and sold this company the idea that they can handle we can handle Lowe's on a national scale. We can handle Home Depot on a national scale. We can handle IKEA on a national scale. So they have to fulfill that commitment. Now, if there's a shortage on contractors, or let's say there's a shortage on trucks, which there are, and that's not bringing in enough contractors, and okay, they see, okay, well, the reason why a lot of people aren't applying for this contractor position because they can't find a rental truck to go out and do it. So, man, we have to go out and get the trucks, because look, we got multi-million-dollar contract with IKEA, and we got to get this stuff out. Yes, it's going to cut into our margins. Our margin is going to shrink a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe a lot of it. But if we're still making some money is better than no money. All right. So UST has, I know when I reported on UST a few months ago, they were only offering it in some markets. Now they're pretty much offering it in every market. And UST isn't the only final mile company that's doing this right now. JB Hunt is also doing it in some markets. I know they're doing it in Indianapolis. All right. And they're also looking to relocate. All right. In some markets where they're just really, really struggling with people, and they're really struggling with trucks because contractors can't find trucks. All right. So, if you're looking to get into the industry and you have all your paperwork and you don't have a truck, here's a way to get in the industry without having a truck. And you may like it. You may say, Skip, if I can make $5,000 a week, all right, and make the same $5,000 a week that I would make if I had the truck and the cost associated with having my truck, and still make that same $5,000 a week without having a truck and don't have the cost associated with the truck, I'm going to go for the $5,000 a week without having the cost associated with the cut, because now my margins just got bigger. You know what I'm saying? My margin just got bigger. So if you're looking to get into the game, yes, I know a lot of people don't like to do final mile because it's heavier. It's more taxing on the body. You're carrying stuff. Like I said, I had to jump out on a truck today. I had to go up 3 flights of stairs on this one job. All right. But we're dealing with an employment crunch. People come to work, people don't come to work. So, it's just not like I used to be. So I have to get out there sometimes and do what I got to do, to get things done. So, work is work. If you want to make that big money, all right, it's gonna require some work. And I know there's, a tug of war between middle mile, final mile. Some people middle mile, they just want to do the dock to dock. And I understand some people, they just may not be cut out for the physical labor. They may be older, they may be a woman, or they just may just not want to do it. But there's a lot of money in final mile. All right. And these companies, e-commerce is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the bigger it gets, the harder, obviously, it's going to get for these companies to bring in new applicants. So they're going to have to do things to entice, just like how on the semi-truck side. If you look at some of these semi-truck companies and look at some of these sign-on bonuses compared to 3-4 years ago, some of these sign-on bonuses, these trucking companies, $7,500, $10,000 sign-on bonuses. That's going to come to It's going to come to the box truck side. It's going to come to middle mile. It's going to come to final mile. I'm telling you, it's eventually going to have to get to that point because trust me, I've been in this game since 2010. I've never seen it to the point where it is now, where logistics companies are having a hard time finding people to run freight. All right, it's tough. It's tough now. So I'm calling this. I foresee in the future that logistics companies, middle mile, final mile, they're going to have to start doing sign-on bonuses for box trucks. They're going to have to. If they're providing you a truck and they're not deducting any cost, versus if you have your own truck versus them providing you a truck, I could see them going sign-on bonus. They want to keep that account. So like I said, they rather make some money versus no money. And I know this isn't in my bullet points to talk about, but I did reach out to a few rental truck companies. I reached out to all of them. All right. Only one of them got back to me. And I didn't just reach out to like some branch manager. No, I went all the way to corporate. I did like if the news were going to do an interview with them, I went to the PR department. I submitted an email request for whoever's in charge of the PR department to get back to me. Only Penske got back to me. When Penske got back, I said, hey, I got a YouTube channel. There's a lot going on in the box trucking space with the scarcity of trucks, the long wait times, the high rates, the high whatever, everything that's going on that we all talk about, that I talk about on my channel, and that you guys deal with every day. And I said, could you guys have someone come on my channel? It's just going to be a discussion. I just have some questions I'm going to ask. I'm not going to bombard the person and try to throw them under the bus, but it would be nice if someone came on to my platform and kind of shed light and kind of explain why what's going on is going on, and what this what do you see Penske in the future, as far as, are things going to ever get back to the way they were prior to the pandemic, or is this going to be the new norm? Is it going to be 3-month wait time, 6-month wait time, a year wait time to get a truck? And like I said, I reached out to everybody. Enterprise, none of those other companies responded. Penske responded, and after I pitched my reason for what I was reaching out to them for, um, the head of the PR department um, emailed me back a day later. He said, I politely declined the request. Have a great weekend. This was Friday. So, I mean, shout out to Penske for even just responding and acknowledging me, but they didn't want to come on the channel to kind of talk about what's going on. But hey, guys, I tried. You know what I'm saying? I try to do things different on my channel. So I went up the corporate ladder and tried to get somebody to come on and just kind of explain what's going on with these rental trucks and when can we see brighter days ahead. But for obvious reasons, they don't want to touch that. So maybe in the future I can get somebody on. All right, let's talk about peak season. Peak season coming up, and I'm gonna make a bold prediction on this, just like I made on the trucks a few months ago. And I said this in the video. And this isn't being negative. I'm being honest. I mean, I look at numbers. I look at facts. All right, the numbers this year are down. All right, retail is down. The only thing that's up is essentials, right? Walmart, Target, your grocery stores, essential goods are up. We are in a recession, all right? A lot of people overspent last year. We know why people were spending last year. We don't have to get into that. Uh, this holiday season, yes, we're going to see a peak season, but it's not going to be what you guys expect, all right? So for all the newcomers that got into the game last year and you guys went through your first peak season and you were wet behind the ears and you think it's just sweet like that all the time, no, it's not sweet like that all the time. It's not actually sweet like that. It was the first ever I've ever seen rates like that. All right, so definitely don't expect that this year. And I'm telling you, you're probably not even going to see what we normally see on a traditional holiday season. Yes, the volume is going to be higher than it is now, like I stated in the video, but I don't think it's going to be overwhelmingly, like how it was last year, and definitely not how like it normally is around the holiday seasons prior to the pandemic. It is going to be a peak season, just not what you guys are expecting. I think people are going to just, they're just going to be a little bit more mindful how they spend their money. So, if you look at, and I don't want to carry this particular topic on. I'm trying to rush through these bullet points because I know the Q&A section is going to take up a lot of my time. And if you guys got questions, now is the time to start putting them in there, because I'm going to scroll to the top. If you want to jump the line to get your question answered, I'm going to drop this link. And then I dropped a link. If you want to come on camera, you can come on camera and I will bring you on, and then you can ask your question on camera, and then that's how you can jump the line. So peak season, the reason why another reason why I'm saying that, why I don't think it's going to be like, just outside of the numbers that we've been seeing as far as retail numbers being low. Just look at everything that's going on in the country right now. Box truck prices have dropped. Why do you think box truck prices have dropped tremendously? All right. Look at the housing market, right? I see people complaining that, oh, I bought this house 4 months ago for $500,000. Now you're telling me my house is only worth $400,000. The housing market prices are going down. Look at houses or condos that were on the market 4 months ago, 5 months ago, whether they're on the market then and they're still on the market now, or if they sold 4 or 5 months ago. And then look at the current rate, what they'd be going for. People that bought property earlier this year have lost tremendously. All right. So that's telling me something. All right. It's telling me something. So I don't think, people are going to overspend this holiday season. So just, prepare and keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? All right. Instacart goes into final mile. All right. So all these app companies are entering into final mile because, and you know what? Forget the app companies. Let's look at it from the retailers' standpoint. Why do you guys think the retailers are listening to these apps and partnering with these apps and moving away some of their business from the logistics companies? And I touched on it, but I really didn't expound on it in the video. And the main reason is turnaround time. So, and I'm gonna give you a tip too that I didn't give in the video, but the turnaround time. People want, Amazon really changed the game with their turnaround time. People want things now. If you order something, you don't want to wait 2, 3, 4 days. You want it now. Amazon has conditioned people into getting things the next day or the same day. Everybody wants everything now. So retailers are in competition, right, to provide that service to their consumers. All right. So in saying that, if you have a box truck and you're running for a logistics company and you got a company like Instacart that's saying, you know what, we'll push the freight to the shoppers, is what they call them, as long as their vehicles can satisfy the batch, is what they call them. Now let me give you some jewels. I'm gonna drop some jewels on you. The guys that are doing this, they don't have general liability, right? They don't have commercial auto, they don't have cargo. And I got a buddy of mine that saw the video and said, hey, you said something in the video, but they've already been beta testing in some markets. I actually got a batch that was a big bulky batch that technically it should have went on a box truck. And then I had somebody either hit me in my DM or left a comment on the video that said the same thing, that they were testing in their market. They're doing like big business to business batches, like restaurants ordering Office Depot and Staples office supplies. So like these are big batches that probably should go on a box truck. So I thought they were going to keep all those big loads for the logistics companies, but they're testing big batches too. So here's the sauce I'm going to give you right now. And this is how millionaires are made. Millionaires are made by early adopters. All right. however you want to say it, adapters, whatever. And what I mean by that is right now on Instacart, you got people on there that are mostly in their cars. But now, since they're doing these big batches, these people don't have box trucks. They damn probably don't even have Sprinter vans. So if you got a box truck, I would sign up on Instacart to do these deliveries because guess what? Depending on the market, you may be one of the only people on the app in your market with a box truck. So guess what? Guess who all those big batches are going to go to? If I can make $6, $5, $6, $7, $800 a day in a box truck, right? And I don't gotta go OTR, right? I don't gotta have another person with me doing final mile. I don't gotta worry about lifting no refrigerator, no stove, no washer, no dryer. I don't gotta worry about going into a person's house delivering a French door refrigerator that's $3,300, and I got that in my mind, and then I gotta maneuver through all this shit in their crib, knowing that they knew they had this refrigerator getting delivered. So you would think they would make a path so that the guys that are delivering this can go through, but they got all this shit in the way. You got the dog, they don't chain the dog up, and you got to try to maneuver all this shit without uh uh damaging this refrigerator and scratching their floors and nicking the wall. So if I can rid myself of all that financial liability, all that stress in my mind while I'm carrying this damn thing into this person's home and just literally list myself and my box truck on Instacart, knowing that all these guys that are used to doing groceries, all they got is RAV4s and Priuses and Corollas and Hyundai Sonatas and all that. And I know that they're doing these big batches. I know that I'm going to get all these big batches because I'm going to be one of the only people on the app now, since this is new, to have a truck big enough to satisfy these bigger loads. So I definitely would sign up on Instacart if you got a box truck. I don't care what size box truck you got. And if you see that the money is rolling in, I would stick with that. You got to go where the money is at. So when I see new things coming about in the industry, I don't mope and I don't complain about the stuff. I just roll with it, man. Sometimes you got to roll with it. Technology is going to continue to advance. If you think about it, look at Borders Bookstore and Barnes and Nobles. All right, those old guys that were sitting on their board of directors, they didn't see Jeff Bezos coming with that Amazon books, and guess what? They went out of business. If their R&D department would have been on top of their game, they probably would still be around. Right? Look at Toys R Us. Look at Venture and Zare and Ames and H.H. Gregg and all these companies. Some of you probably don't even know what I'm naming. Montgomery Wars and damn, J.C. Penney's is probably on their way out. But all these companies I just named before J.C. Penney's, all these companies don't exist no more. The malls are damn near extinct. Indoor malls are damn near extinct. Who more goes to indoor malls no more? You feel what I'm saying? So when things change, you got to roll with the punches. So if you see these apps coming in, me personally, I'm signing one of my box trucks up on Instacart tomorrow, and I'm going to see what type of batches we get. If that truck can make $600, $700, $800 a day just doing batches, because I know don't nobody else got box trucks on there because this is still early and it's still new, I'm gonna put another one on there. And then I'm gonna put another one on. If it gets to the point where I'm running so much, then I'm cutting all that ICC and DOT shit. I'm cutting all that shit off. I'm getting rid of all of that shit. And I'm gonna go roll with that and keep all my money. I'm not gonna pay all these people. I'm gonna drop my insurance down even further, and I'm gonna go roll with the apps, because the people on the apps, they don't have to deal with none of that. They don't got to deal with none of that. We're gonna cut out the eye in the sky, whatever you want to call the government, as far as the DOT and all that shit. If we can run and take reams of paper, boxes of pens, all right, computers, printers, whatever these people are ordering when they go on this app for Instacart for Staples and Office Depot and fucking, I don't know, shit, what is it, Spirit Halloween costumes and shit, then that's what we're gonna do. You just roll with it. But like I said, the person who's in early, people who are in early are going to get to that money, are going to get to that money. So it's just like I talked about the other day when I did the video on I was talking about Shopify and how all those people when Shopify was popular like 3, 4, 5 years ago. It ain't so popular now. Shopify to the point where they laying off 10% of their people. That Shopify model, like I said in the video, I knew that wasn't going to last. Why am I going to wait? I get it. Free enterprise, Shopify store, but the people who became millionaires on Shopify were the people who built those Shopify stores early. You build a Shopify store now, if you don't have a unique product that you're selling that's being made here in America, 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna work. You're probably gonna fail. And that's just the honest to God truth. Why? Because the smart people, right? Or let's not even say the smart people, the people who have the right business mind, they understand, look, the turnaround time is very important. So I'm gonna go get a loan or do whatever I gotta do. Let me think of something that's popular. Eyelashes, or let's say I go to the gym a lot. I notice that every woman in the gym has the same like workout stretch biker pants, whatever they call them, these stretch things. They got like the little spider wedges things. Everybody in the gym, woman has that same set in different colors. 9 times out of 10, somebody is on a Shopify store selling that, right? But I guarantee you, I can go on Amazon and find those same stretch pants, right? And guess what? They're going to come the next day. So why is a person going to order that same stuff from Alibaba to drop ship it to their Shopify store? And you got to wait 30 days when you can go on Amazon, and that person who ordered a container that's sitting on 500,000 pieces or 1,000,000 pieces, who are getting the stuff cheaper than the person who's getting it on the Shopify store because they're ordering more volume. They're waiting the 30 days for that container to come across the water, right? It gets to the port in LA. Amazon sends a truck to pick it up, to bring it back to their fulfillment center. They fulfill it, and now they can ship it the very next day at a fraction of the cost because this business person ordered the entire container. The early adopters who got into Shopify are the people who made who made millions. So same thing with Instacart, not to drag it on. While they're doing this now, take your box truck, just list it on there and see what comes. You never know. The people who get in early are the people who are going to be the most successful. All right, let's go to the next one. Amazon changes the rules. All right, so for everybody that was here last Tuesday night, I had Motivation and Box Trucking on. We had a really, really good show, probably the best show I've had to date. I mean, I've only been doing it a month and a half, but anyway. So shout out to Motivation and Box Trucking. Watch this channel and notice that Amazon has changed the rules. Now, anybody that watches my channel, they know how I feel. Like me and Amazon got like a love-hate relationship, you know. They changed the rules, and I always say, you know, be careful with Amazon. Go get that money, but don't make that your end all be all. Always have some in the chamber just in case, you know, you got to go ahead and handle your business, because they'll switch up on you. And I say this all the time. They've done it in the past. All you got to do is a Google search. All right. Don't get all the way comfortable. Always have another option in mind, because if they pull the rug from under you, don't be standing there like, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do now? You need to have a plan in place. All right. So now they done, and this is right before peak season, they done stop people from double booking. No more double booking. So you can't overlap. Right. Is this going to be detrimental? Yeah, it's going to be detrimental to some people. They're going to be detrimental to some people, but I don't even want to talk on the why. You know, I want to talk on the why. I want to talk on the why. I don't want to get in too much into depth with Amazon, because I say this all the time. If you follow my channel, you know I got a love-hate relationship with Amazon. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. All right. So let's talk about why they did it. All right. If you got that email and you read it, one thing stood out to me, and that was the word safety. Right. So when you're running these Amazon relay loads and you're using their app, you got to use their app. You're using their app. It's doing something more than telling you the info, the scope of your job, and navigating you uh, from one place to the next. I would not be surprised if that app is also monitoring your driving patterns. All right. You gotta get some merch. Camouflage Jones. Danielle, what's going on? Camouflage Jones. Matter of fact, I'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. I got an appointment with you tomorrow. Appreciate you watching. Thanks for checking out the show. Um, I'm sure they're monitoring your driving patterns. All right. So when that word stood out to me, safety, I said, okay, they got to be monitoring the driving patterns. And the reason I say that is because why would they switch it up? Why would they switch it up? Obviously, they see something in people who are running Amazon relay loads that have double booked, right? Versus people who aren't double booked. And it's got to have something to do where the drivers are probably driving unsafe. They're probably got a load, drop a load off, and then they're rushing back. They're probably driving. It could be something as simple as driving 5 miles above the speed limit. But that word safety stood out to me. So I think they probably are monitoring, and I could be wrong. This is just an educated guess, but big companies like that just don't do things for no reason at all. So the word safety stood out to me. They want to make sure you're safe. So I'm sure that that app is monitoring your driving pattern. All right. And the people who are double booking, they're probably speeding or they're probably doing something that is dinging Amazon and saying this is an unsafe practice and we got to do something to stop this because it's going to bring lawsuits or somebody's going to get hurt. So now you can't overlap loads. So it's going to be detrimental to some people. All right. But the people who are smart, motivated, they'll figure something out. And they'll be able to get around that. It sucks. It does suck. But the only thing I can tell you with that is I tell you this all the time with Amazon. They'll switch up on you in a heartbeat. They'll switch up on you in a heartbeat. So just keep that in mind. Nothing lasts forever. Because guess what? If things last forever, a lot of accounts that I had, I would still have them. A lot of things that I've done, a lot of things that you guys have done. Nothing in this type of business lasts forever. Things are going to keep changing. Things are going to keep evolving. So you have to roll with the punches. Which takes me back to that Instacart thing, guys. If you got a box truck, sign your box truck up for Instacart. If you got a cargo van, a sprinter van, sign it up. See what happens. What time is it? It's 8:15. Let's go ahead and open up this Q&A real quick. Let's go open up the Q&A. I'm going to drop this link. I don't have a thanks button. Yes, my channel can be monetized. I've been at a monetization level, but I got other businesses that, Google is kind of funny, man. They change their rules as much as Amazon. So I got other businesses. I got like apps and things that I use Google AdSense for an ad mobs. And I guess they changed the rules where now you can only have one AdSense account. And I got other businesses that we use AdSense to monetize, like some of my apps. And they're giving me a hard time about merging. I got to merge all my AdSense into one. I just haven't taken the time to do it yet. So my channel isn't monetized yet. So hit the like button and that'll help me get into the algorithm so that the time that I take building this content at 3, 4 in the morning, because my day is busy, guys. You know what I'm saying? So when I put out these videos are being done at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and then I'm back up at 6:37. So I don't shoot these videos during the day. They're shot overnight because I'm busy during the day. So a like would help the channel out. That at least give me the motivation to keep doing this. Alongside of all the comments I get, a lot of the DMs. 4 months doing this, and the channel has grown significantly. So that gives me the motivation to keep, putting this content out, helping you guys. Obviously, the mentorship I give you guys enough free information that the mentorship coaching sessions that I do are usually just to help people that navigate who might have hit a brick wall and they just want my opinion, or they want me to help them navigate. I give people enough information that if you watch my channel, you should be able to start your box trucking channel. I mean, your box trucking business, and know if you want to do final mile, if you want to do middle mile, you know what the difference between final mile is, you know what middle mile is, and you should know where you want to go, how to get set up, and how to get to that that goal that you're trying to reach. And then when you hit that brick wall, that's when you come to me, and then I kind of help navigate you when you need some additional help. So with that being said, and then we're going to do this every Tuesday. Obviously, we're switching it, we're making it more professional. Since I am going to do this every Tuesday, I want to sell some sponsors. All right. So I got to make it so that the channel eventually does have to make money, because this is it has turned into a business. So we're making it more professional. So every week you may see me tweaking some things and messing with some things to make the experience better for you guys. And I appreciate you guys joining in tonight. So let's get with these Q&A. I'm gonna scroll back up to the top. And let's see the first question. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. All right. Have you thought about training trainers for final mile? I'll train anybody for anything that I know how to do, just as long as it's uh reach out to me on my DM. And then if you want, if you need something done and it's in this field, I don't mind helping. Just reach out to me, I'll do whatever it takes as long as it's right on both sides. Any info on how the market is in Pittsburgh? It depends on if you're talking about final mile or middle mile. Pittsburgh is a big city, so I know there's opportunity there. But it all depends on if you're talking about final mile or middle mile. I know middle mile, you can get loads out of PA. PA is one of the, if you look on the load boards, it's one like, it has a lot of outbound loads. So middle mile, yeah. Final mile, I'm sure too. Pittsburgh is a major city, so people are ordering washers and dryers and refrigerators and couches and stoves and Pelotons and fitness equipment and all types of stuff. Final mile, people are ordering stuff every day. So yeah. Select Express contacted me, but 40 to 100K on the contracting post. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't have a truck at the moment and would still need a helper. All right. So if you got a let's say a Sprinter van, or let's say a cargo van, and you're making $100,000 a year, you're not punching anybody. You got to look at it different. So you're looking at it. I know how you're looking at it, but you need to look at it like this. You got your own Sprinter van. You make $100,000 a year doing it the way you want to do it, meaning you're not punching anybody's clock, right? You're working for yourself. You don't got anybody telling you what to do, when to do it, when you can go to the bathroom, when you can go to lunch, things of that nature. You just created a job for yourself, making $100,000 a year. That's how you probably should be looking at it. You don't have a truck. All right. You said you don't have a truck. I don't have a truck. So I'm assuming you got a van. So with a van, obviously your room to haul is smaller. So I think $100,000 a year with a van is good. Now with the helper, I mean, obviously you got to pay a helper, but here's another thing that I don't talk about. A lot of these delivery jobs, people give you a gratuity. All right. So you do get a gratuity. So I think with a helper, if you go out and you provide exceptional service, and exceptional service isn't just, going into a person's home and doing the final mile delivery and putting the stuff in the room of choice and putting it together. It's when you call them and say, wait, hello, my name is Steve and I'm with ABC Logistics. I'm contracted to deliver your Peloton whatever it is today. How's your day going? Oh, it's going great. All right, Steve. Yeah. So we'll be there in about 30 minutes. Just wanted to let you know so you can be prepared for us to come. We'll be in a white truck. Blah 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 blah. Now you've made the customer feel at ease. They know you're coming because nowadays customers are complaining about. Oh, I didn't. They told me they were going to be here from 4 to 8, and no one came. And the reason why, and I'm going to talk about that too, just not today. And you let them know you're coming, you greeted them, they know what to expect because there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Then when you get there, hey, how you doing? You bring your little booties, cover your shoes up with the little mesh things, put them over your shoes. That shows the customer that, hey, I respect your home. I'm not trying to drag any dirt or mud or anything. All this stuff matters. All this stuff matters. And believe it or not, you can make a lot of money in a year in gratuity, and then your gratuity can pay your helper. When I first got started, as I was scaling, before I even started scaling, when I was just hustling, I started in my pickup truck. And the one helper I got, I found him on Craigslist. He was rough around the edges, but I needed somebody. All right. He was rough around the edges now, but I needed somebody. And all right. But I made enough money every day that I was able to pay him with the tips. I took my tips, I paid him his fee, and then the tips that I received, I was able to give him that, so that increased my margin more. Sometimes my tip, because the customers would tip, both of us, but sometimes the tips were so good that what I made enough money in tips for my half of the tips to pay for the day. So you got to look at it like that sometimes. Sometimes you can't look at it. I see what you're saying, but sometimes you got to think outside the box. And I'm telling you this because I've been doing it since 2010. So $100,000 in a cargo van, I think, is good money to deliver. I mean, Select Express. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've had Select Express for many years. Their biggest account is Bye Bye Baby and Dick Sports. Yeah, Dick Sports is gonna be a little bit harder. Bye Bye Baby is a lot easier. It's baby cribs. Once you put one baby crib together, two baby cribs, three baby cribs, next thing you know, you'll be delivering those baby cribs and you'll be throwing them together in 15 minutes. Trust me, I'm telling you. And a baby crib, you really don't need two people. You can do that. Once you get good at it, you can put a baby crib together by yourself. Victor, shout out. All right, guys, hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Hit that like button if you're rocking with the content, rocking with the live stream tonight. Hit the like button if you like my layout. Just hit the like button because I'm a likable guy. Can you recommend a place where to go for my authority that's reasonably priced, don't want to make no mistakes? Yeah, reasonably priced, yourself. You can do it yourself. All right. Your DOT is free. You're gonna pay $300 for your MC. You go to the FMSCA website and you just follow the instructions. It's simple. Don't make it harder than what it is. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do you one even better. I'm gonna do you one even better. Hold on, let me see if I can hold on one second. Let me see. I'm just going to show you how to get started. I can't take up too much time because I got other questions, but it's simple. I haven't done it in a long time, but I think I can walk you through it. All right, so look, I'm gonna share my screen with you real quick, Ray. Let's do share, share screen. Let's do this. We're gonna go to Windows. We're gonna do that. We're gonna go share. All right. All right. So this is the website. FMSCA, FMCSA. I'm sorry. .gov. All right. You're gonna go here. Registration. You're gonna go apply for a new U.S. DOT number and authority. You're gonna obviously hit new applicant. You're gonna hit next, and then you're gonna read this stuff. You're gonna hit next. You're gonna read this stuff, and you're gonna hit next. You're gonna read that, and you're gonna hit next. Next, next, next. You're gonna obviously read this, but I'm cutting this down. Actually, I should be directing you to the course that I sell on my website, but don't worry about it. Then you're gonna start filling out all your information. I can't go next because I'm not gonna fill out this information because I've already filled it out. But basically, you're gonna follow this, right? And then this is gonna take you to get your DOT. You're gonna get your DOT, all right? That's just gonna let the Department of Transportation know who you are. Then the next thing you're gonna do is you gotta get your MC, and that's $300. And then I haven't done this in a while, so you're gonna go here, and then you're gonna read through all of this, and then you're gonna hit. I think I need to register with the FMSA to get a new USD to operate MC right here. You're gonna hit that one, and then where's the next button? Continue, and then you're gonna just follow the instructions. It's pretty much simple as that. Um, Obviously, there's going to be other little things involved in it that I couldn't get to because I have mine already, but um, that's where you go. Just follow those instructions, Ray. And it's simple. I did mine myself in 09, 2010. All right. I learned, here's what I paid for. My first business, I paid my accountant $750 for my articles of incorporation and my EIN number because I didn't know any better. He charged me $750. You get your EIN for free. You can go to irs.gov and get your EIN. You can have that in 5 minutes, right? And then once I found out that I could have just went to Secretary of State Cyrus right here in Illinois and just went to that part of the website to file for my business, it would have been $150. If I wanted it the next day expedite, it would have been $250. So essentially, I paid $750 for something that really only cost me $150. So it means he made $600 off something that I literally stood there and watched him do. I'm like, man, he did that fast. I just paid $750. I thought it was something very important to do, but it's not. So I'm telling you that to tell you this. Go to the website I sent you, take some time and just read everything. I just put you on, just read it, go through it, hit next, fill out all the information, and it's not hard, man. Don't pay anybody to do that. That's the best advice I can give you. Amazon recently, within the last day or two, won't even allow you to book a load if your performance score is less than a C plus for a reserve period of time. KNA Logistics, what's going on, man? How you feeling? So yeah, that's Amazon switching up, man. I mean, here's the thing: some of the things that they do for very good reasons. You know, they have a big business to protect. So, um, I did a video about a month or so ago. It wasn't one of my better videos. Like when I get to telling people the truth, they don't like watching those videos. But I talked about how the game was becoming unprofessional, and a lot of the stuff that they're doing now is it's due to unprofessionalism, you know, and safety. You know, so they have a big business to protect. All right, Amazon's probably one of the companies that got the most lawsuits in America. You know what I'm saying? Like Amazon gets sued like you tie your shoe every day. It's like common, you know. So they have to protect that business. So some of these things that they switch up are just to protect their business, you know. So it is what it is, you know. If a person's score is low, then that means they're probably not performing well. And Amazon doesn't want to take a risk with someone who has a low performance score, especially with the wintertime coming. You know, if people, and I'm going back to that double booking and that safety and that drive pattern, I'm a strong believer that they're monitoring driving patterns within that app. All right. So with the wintertime coming up in some of these markets, like up here in the Midwest, where we get a lot of snow and stuff like that, it's easy for a person to slide off the road, get into an accident. You know, so you know, I mean, they know what they're doing, man. You know, these reasons they're switching up, I can't really get mad at them because these things seem like they're solid reasons why. Now, if they say, you know what, we're cutting all box trucks off a relay, we're only gonna run 53 footers, then that's that bullshit I'm talking about. This right here, I can't really trip on. Yeah, I guess I was just about to say, Good. But what up, word? Nah, I'm gonna be there tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow at 10 a.m. All right, there go the link right there. Anybody want to come on and holler at your boy and talk box trucking? Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button, guys. First of all, are you hiring need a driver with 15 plus years experience? Where are you located at, LTs? I'm glad I found you. Thanks for teaching us. Victor 100. Appreciate you subscribing. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. You know anything about the Colorado market? I heard it's terrible for multiple mentors. Um, what are you trying to do? Are you in middle mile? Are you in final mile? I tell you this, if you're in middle mile, you can just go where the wind takes you. You get a truck, find a load, go into the Midwest. I guarantee you find something in the Midwest. You're a trucker. If this is what you want to do, then you got to be a trucker. A real trucker just hits the road. They hit the road Sunday night, late Sunday night, early Monday morning. You don't see them until late Friday night, early Saturday morning. And that's some truckers. Some truckers you don't see for a month. All right. So if you're in a box truck, and you're in a market and you're running middle mile and you're in a market that's just not, it's just not a good market, then find a load out of that market to a market that's just popping and then work that market and then try to find something and work your way back. I mean, it's just the business, it's the nature of the business. So if Colorado is not a good market and you're looking to do middle mile and this is what you want to do, then you got to go where the money is at. And that ain't got nothing to do with box trucking. That's just business. That's just business. That's just business. Look at it like this way. If if you got a business and your business has been doing good, you've seen success, and then you hit a you hit a point in your business where things are just stagnant. What's been working for you in the past is not working anymore, right? As a business owner, right? You got to do what you got to do to get that money coming in. So sometimes when people we get conditioned and we get comfortable because things have been working, we've been making money, everything is rolling. Then when you hit that staple in the road, you get stagnant. We're like, oh, what do we do? Okay, now it's the time we got to do what we did when we first got started to get to where we were just at. We got to go out and find the money and bring it back. You got to go out and find the money and bring it back. It may not be around you. All right. If you build a business up to the point where you got employees depending on you, all right, they're dependent on you. So you can't be like, man, this market is not good. This market is not good. No, you got to go out and get the money and find it because their families are dependent on them. They're dependent on you. Right. So to answer that question, if Colorado is in a good market, and I don't know what other people you've talked to, but apparently you talked to multiple people and they've told you this. I haven't researched Colorado. I can't really research it right now, but you can DM me on Instagram. We can chat. If it calls for a consultation, I'll give you the link to my website, which is www.boxtruckcourses.com. And then you can get a session and then I can further go into detail. But based on what you're telling me from other people you talk to, if that market isn't good, then my advice in the blind right now without researching would be you have to go to where it's popping at. And that's middle mile. Final mile, depending on where you're in Colorado, I'm 100% sure people are buying stuff. So if you got a truck and you don't want to leave your market, then you need to hire a helper and you need to sign with one of these logistics companies and you got to get out here and start delivering some goods, some couches, some dressers, some tables, some chairs, some refrigerators, some stoves, some washers, and some dryers. And I know that's popping. That's popping. That's popping everywhere. So I hope that answered your question, but hit me on the DM if you want to discuss further or go to www.boxtruckcourses.com and sign up for a session. DC, what's popping? Appreciate you. Do you always need a helper with final mile? For the most part, yeah. For the most part, Jacqueline, if you're doing final mile, you're doing it for a company like let's say Lowe's, Home Depot, where you're dealing, let's say an appliance-based company, yes, because not one person can carry a refrigerator. You can, But the old school way of doing that stuff, like back in the 80s and the 90s, I don't know how old everybody is, but I'm an 80s baby. And back in the 80s, you'll see one guy with a refrigerator on his back. He'll take the hump straps, he'll throw it around, tie the hump strap to his chest, bend over, and they can go all the way up 3, 4 flights of stairs with a refrigerator. People don't do that no more. All right. So yes, um, appliance final mile requires two guys. Obviously, furniture final mile is going to require two men as well, because you're going to have couches, you're going to have living room sets, you're going to have dressers, armoires, things of that nature. There are some final mile accounts um, that may only require one, but in most of those times, those are just curbside deliveries. Now, the only account that I've ever had in my career that did offer curbside, they offered all three levels of final mile delivery, which is curbside, threshold. Then you have two types of thresholds. You got curbside, you got threshold. Obviously, curbside is just delivering and dropping at the curb. If you're nice and they have an attached garage, you can pull it into your garage. All right. Threshold, which is bringing it past the threshold of the home. So as soon as they open the front door, whether it's the front door or the back door, as soon as that item goes past the threshold, that's where you put it down there, and that's it, right? Then in some companies offer threshold room of choice. All right, threshold room of choice means it goes into the home and then they have a room of choice. So let's say if it's a living room set, it goes in the home, and room of choice, it goes in the living room. If it's a bedroom set in the home, and it goes into the bedroom. All right. And then the granddaddy of final mile delivery options is white glove delivery. That's full service. You deliver into the home, room of choice. You remove all the packaging. All right. You remove all the packaging. You do the assembly of the item, and then you remove the packaging from the home back onto the truck. All right. So that's white glove. So the only thing that I know that a person can do by themselves for like furniture, big bulk items by itself, if it's curbside, because 9 times out of 10, in that case, then it would be palletized and they would just drop it off the curb. But majority of final mile contracts are two men. Now, you're looking at final mile accounts like maybe Office Depot and Staples. Those are one man type of accounts, but right now it's looking like those accounts have went to the apps. So if you want to sign up for one of those accounts, I would just go over to Instacart. But if you got like a 26-foot box truck and you're looking to do final mile, then yes, you're gonna need two guys for the most part. What final mile sector is the lesser liability? I would say anything that's not involving furniture and appliances. So when I had Office Depot through Dynamics, I guess we can consider that final mile, since it was mostly going to businesses, but you have some people that will order things on OfficeDepot.com that will go to their home, and those small items you can't really damage them. You're not going into the home. Most of those items were dropped on the porch. Um, but that's about it. I really can't think of anything else that's final mile that that's not really high liability driven. So small packages, I would say, small packages, like the type of stuff that Amazon, like cell phone cases and things of that nature. But here's the thing: there's not a lot of accounts for final mile out there that deal with small things. Why? Because Amazon has pretty much monopolized that. All your cell phone covers, all your accessories, your whatever. I'm trying to look around, even like stuff like this boom mic, your cell phone cases, your Bluetooth, and whatever. Amazon pretty much is the home of all small packages. Pretty much all the other companies, I'm trying to think, are big bulky things. Wayfair, Home Depot, Lowe's, Best Buy. You know, all these are high liability driven. The actual merchandise is high liability driven, and then entering into the customer's home as well, because now you have to worry about not damaging the home, and how you're going to squeeze this item that's the size, I like to say, the item that's the size of a watermelon into something the size of a lemon. You'll be surprised at some of the things customers order. Like you have people living in 1-bedroom apartments that order mansion furniture. You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable sometimes. So next time you come over, you gotta wear some booties. Nah. Hey, I don't wear booties. I don't like my crew, we don't wear booties. So and so I know I talked about booties earlier, but the reason why I don't allow my guys to wear booties and customers do get mad is because once you put the booty on the bottom of your shoe, you no longer have that grip, right? And anything can happen. Like OSHA standards, you're carrying something, you have to have that rubber sole at the bottom. It has to hit that ground so you can get that grip. Once you put that mesh on, then you slipping and sliding. And see, what customers don't understand that, and then I have to explain it to them when we're at a stalemate, and when the crew is calling, like, man, the customer wants to take off our shoes, or the customer wants to put these booties on, and all this. And I tell customers, okay, well, if they slip and fall because they're in their socks, and you probably just waxed their floor, and then they're carrying this 300-400 pound refrigerator, they slip and fall, we're not allowed. Well, you're insured, aren't you? Yeah, we're insured, but they're in your home. So the lawsuit, when I sue you, I want to say you asked these guys to take off their shoes. So now they didn't have any grip. Why don't you just take a mop after they leave and just mop up? And that's it. So with the booties, guys, you guys can tell your guys to use booties, but I don't allow my guys to use. I don't care if it's raining outside. That's even worse. Like, I'm not finna send guys in and out of person home with some soggy socks because you don't want to mop. All right. So it is what it is. Now, if it's carpet, we'll lay down the plastic and they'll walk on the plastic, but that's not 100% proof. So that's just a free drill right there on you guys. We don't do the buoys. It's too much. It's just too risky. Guy can slip and fall. They need that rubber grip. Insurance be cracking heads. Progressive wants $6K between 2 monthly payments to activate my authority. Yeah, man. Insurance is it's kind of rough right now. But there's ways around it. Now, the ways that are around it, you may not want to go those ways, but I've been talking about it lately. But if this is what you want to do, then but here's the thing with Progressive, and I say this a lot too. Progressive isn't the end all be all. There's other insurance companies out there. The reason why I say this on every live stream, the reason why people go to Progressive, because everybody, this is what people are new that are getting into the box truck game. And I'm not making fun of you, but I'm just saying this is what the new people do. They do the research, and then when it gets to the insurance, they go google.com commercial auto insurance. Guess who pops up number one? Progressive. Why are they popping up number one? Because obviously the biggest commercial um marketed insurance company for commercial auto. They spend millions of dollars in advertising. They got people within their company that all they do is SEO all day. For those that don't know what SEO is, it's search engine optimization. So that when you type this in, they come up number one. And then they're one of the only commercial companies where you can go on to their website, type the scope of what you're looking for, and then go through the process. And then they'll put your card information in and everything. And then they'll print you out a COI right then and there. Pretty much every other commercial company, you got to go through a broker. All right. And I suggest people go through a broker, and I say this all the time. So for people who haven't watched any of my content before, haven't seen any of my live streams, it's best to go through a broker because the broker is working for you. You don't have to pay the broker. The broker gets paid from the insurance company. So the way it works, the broker shops for you. It's the broker's job to find you the best rate on the market for your company. He's shopping you. He's shopping your company, right? There's plenty of commercial companies out there. Some of you never heard of before. All right. There's a lot of them I haven't heard of before. So he's shopping you, right? And he's going to find you the best rate. He may come back and say, hey, I got you with this company for your general liability. I got you this company for your commercial auto. And I got you this company for your cargo. And that's going to come out. You're going to save $300-400 versus going with Progressive. Progressive is always going to be the highest because they're the biggest and the most popular, right? So my suggestion to you is, Mel, is Find you a broker in your local market. I can't give you my broker because my broker is only licensed in Illinois. If you're in Illinois, I can refer you to my broker, but you need to find a broker that is in your market and have them shop you on the market to find you uh, the best rate that you can get for your company. What up? I'm checking in from Detroit. Detroit in the building. What's going on? R. Burton. Let's see what else we got here. It's like a credit score. It must be a side. Let me see. Need to link with you for a consult before I switch lanes to dump truck business. I got into the dump truck business in 2020, and my partner, me and him, it didn't last long. My partner, he went crazy, so we had to part ways. But as soon as I got in, it was good. We bought a brand new 14-foot dump trailer because we have pickup trucks. I got a pickup truck. He had a couple pickup trucks, and then I had box trucks that's sitting around too at that time because the pandemic had just hit. So I had some trucks that weren't running. So we had the vehicles to pull the dump. We went out and bought a 2021 PJ 14-footer with the 4-foot high walls, and it's a good business. We did a lot of clean outs, a lot of demo jobs. People were calling. It's just me and my partner. He went crazy, man, and it didn't work out, and so he ended up selling the trailer. But yeah, man, hit me up www.boxtruckcourses.com, and we can chop it up, man. I know that business as well. I may get back into it because one thing you don't have to worry about with the dump trailer and the dump truck and that business, you're dealing with a lot of demo and you're dealing with a lot of clean out. So that liability of going into people's home and not damaging anything, you don't have to worry about that. So a lot of that demo, you're there to tear shit up anyway. All right. And then the clean out, 9 times out of 10, you send the crew to clean out a vacant or abandoned place that some investors have bought and they're finna renovate the place. So it doesn't care if you scratch a wall. You don't have to be careful with that shit. You can just basically haul that shit. I was the best thing about it. It got kind of nasty at times because when we were starting that business, I was out there learning the business. So I know what to expect. I know I was putting my guys into, and I knew if they were trying to sell me some bullshit one day, I know it would be bullshit because I went out there and built the business. So I was out there. So I knew what to expect and what not to expect. It can get nasty. You going in the basements and all types of creepy places, pulling stuff out, throwing that stuff in a dump. So that was the only thing that was tripped out to me about it. But that peace of mind of not having to worry about damaging no floors or no walls compared to the business that I've been in since 2010 with moving and trucking and final mile, man, just was a peace of mind. But yeah, we can wrap it up. We can talk it up. I got a new client, female truck. I just shared this live with a 10-4. I appreciate it. Trucker life hit the turnpike to get that bread. Let me see. Do you file the amount you paid your employees helper? Yeah. I got an accountant, so my accountant does all the payroll. Yeah, you don't want the IRS on your ass, I'll tell you that. Two people I'm scared of, God and the IRS. Man, I'm in that process now, renewing myself in order to feed the people. This channel has been more than a blessing. Learning, growing, and expanding. I appreciate you for tuning in. I appreciate you for watching. I appreciate you for even engaging by leaving me this message right now. So salute to you. If I have an interstate license, do I need to be a part of an arbitration program and have a DOT medical card? You got an interstate license. Yeah, if it's a 26-foot truck, yeah. If it's a 26-foot truck, if it's over 16,000 pounds, yeah, you're gonna need that DOT. So if you got that class C, you running that class C range and weight for a 26-foot box truck, then yeah, you gotta get that DOT. Now, here's the thing, and it's different in different states. I know here it was you supposed to do it, but it's like it's not really a big deal here. Like state troopers, they don't really be tripping on that stuff. We don't really even do inspections here. I run interstate, all right, and it's very rare um that my trucks even I haven't had an inspection in probably 4 years as far as the truck a state trooper stopping one of my trucks for an inspection. Most of my trucks don't really go too far outside of the city because there's just so much final mile, and I'm in Chicago, and it's just so bad here with just all the crime and violence, and even with the shootings on the expressway, all these expressway shootings, the state troopers just got their hands full here. So you have to research your market, and I don't know what you said. You didn't tell me where you're at. Look up your state and then just Google it. 9 times out of 10, though, I'm sure you need it. Will you be interested in a one-on-one something beyond your coaching bundle pack? Would I be interested in a what type of one-on-one? First of all, what type of one-on-one? Thanks. Appreciate you. Jacqueline Jones, appreciate you. Is delivering appliances in people's homes, is that general freight when applying for your MC? Yes, it's a general freight. I already have commercial progressive on a smaller cargo van. And you're paying, wait a minute. Hold on, let me scroll back up. So you got a cargo van, and you telling me you paying Progressive wants $6K between 2 monthly payments to activate my. So you telling me they're charging you $6K to activate a cargo van? Or you telling me you're trying to get a truck and this is what they want, and you already have commercial Progressive on your van? If that's the case where you got Progressive already on your van, that does not necessarily mean you have to get Progressive on your truck. Now, is your van under a company or is it under your personal? That's the question I want to ask you. How is the Amazon rates in Connecticut? I don't know. You know what? I think they're pretty good up in Connecticut. Somebody was telling me they be in that area. They said they were doing pretty good, but I may be wrong. But I did speak to somebody and said uh they were doing pretty good. Once again, thanks for the sauce and salute to you for giving those fresh out the system a chance of contributing to stay free. Salute. I appreciate you, Ken. Yeah, you know what? Most of the people that I hire and have hired, even early on in my career, all out of the system, all felons. But you gotta understand, when I started in 2010, my moving company, who else was I going to get? And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just keeping it 100, keeping it funky. There's only like two different types of people that do moving, like to get moved. Like if you get back then, there was no Instagram, not Instagram, there was no Instacart, there was no Amazon Flex, there was no Amazon Relay, there was no, even on the smaller side, the Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Uber Eats, none of these apps where people can just wake up in the morning, turn on an app, and go get money. Then this didn't exist back then. So people had to go out and find like real traditional jobs, and owning a moving company, obviously, like that's not work that person who had a college degree or a person who could do anything else wanted to do. So the opportunities ended up having to go to people who society had shut out. No one wanted to give felons an opportunity, but moving companies did, and I was one of those guys. And yeah, pretty much 90% of my staff was felons. With the moving company starting out earlier than that, transitioned over to the trucking company. I transitioned some of those guys over to the trucking side. I did run into some problems because a lot of these final mile contracts, they do background checks. So they wanted background checks on my guys, but I was able to get around that in a lot of cases because final mile was very evolving then, and a lot of these contracts were new. And just like how these logistics companies now are breaking their neck to keep these accounts by like like let's say with UST providing trucks for contractors because they know what's going on and they need to do what they got to do. It was like that then. It was always, Mark, can you send another truck? They didn't give a damn who I sent. They just needed that freight off that dock because they didn't want Office Depot upset, or they didn't want IKEA upset, or whatever account it was at the time that was calling me. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't care. So once I got in there, my background is clean. I would go do my background, and then they would kind of turn their head to the workers. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, I don't have no problem hiring felons, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody deserves a second chance in life, man. Under the company, when is your company now? When is your insurance policy set to renew, Mel? Kamar, appreciate it. Hey guys, hit that like button, man. Hit that like button if you're getting some value out of this live stream. You're getting some value out of the content. Do me a favor, hit the live stream. Oh, Marky Mark doesn't get paid by YouTube, so a like would help just to get this in the algorithm and just to give me that motivation to keep, providing this content for you. All right, let me get back to these questions. Do you have a list of final mile companies we can sign up with? Yeah, I do got a list, but first start here. Watch all my videos. I got a bunch of companies in my videos that I've profiled in the past month or two. So if you go back and you look at some of my content, there should be a nice little laundry list of companies there, and I guarantee you should be able to score with one of those companies of UST, JB Hunt, XPO, NAL, Pilot. Yeah, just go back and look at some of my videos. Look at my catalog of videos, and that would be the companies that you can go apply with. I'm pretty sure you'll get on with one of those. JB Hunt is another one. Yeah. Box truck 101, like helping me lock up my first contracts and getting some loads. Oh, you saying this is like box truck 101? You asked me the question, right? You said, hold on, what was your question again? Would you be interested in one-on-one, something beyond your coaching? And then you said box truck 101, like helping me lock up my first contracts and getting some loads. What are you running? Are you running middle mile or are you running final mile, Damien? Middle mile or final mile? I'm gonna drop this link again too, guys. Anybody want to come on the stream? You want to come on the stream, ask a question? You want to come on the stream just to say hi? You want to come on the stream just to talk box trucking? There's the link. Just hit the link, and I'll see you pop up, and I'll bring you on, and we can chop it up. Ray Perry, I appreciate you. How do I find companies that hold accounts for Final Mile? Watch some of my videos. I pretty much given majority of the logistics companies that hold Final Mile accounts. So just watch my videos. JB Hunt, XPO, Pilot, NAL, UST, Select Express. The list goes on. I mean, I've pretty much profiled majority of them in my videos. So do me a favor. Go through my videos and pull out all the ones that I've profiled and start applying with those. And I guarantee you should be able to have some luck with one of those. And if you can't get lucky with one of those, then hit me in the DM and then I'll give you some more. But the ones that I profile are the main ones that have the biggest accounts: your Lowe's, your Home Depots, your Best Buys, your IKEAs, your Wayfairs, Peloton, all those big accounts. So the answer to that question is in my catalog of videos. The sauce is out there, guys. I give you the game. I pretty much put it out there for you, and I don't sugarcoat it. I give it to you. My consultations are basically, some people hit me and say, man, you know what? I don't want to make any mistakes. I don't have time to make the mistakes. I'm buying this consultation because I need you to guide me. the right way, because I don't have the time, or I don't have the margin for the learning curve. I don't have the money to deal with the learning curve to lose. So I need to go. I rather the money that I'm expecting to lose learning the industry, I rather just invest that into you guiding me so that I don't hit those brick walls. Then you have some people that hit a brick wall, that been in the game and they hit the big wall, they just can't figure out how to uh, um, turn over a profit. Or you got people that hit me up for coaching sessions that really know the answers to the questions. They just second guessing themselves, so they want a person with more experience to kind of tell them what they already know. So I'm saying that to say a lot of the information that I give, you can pretty much go out there and start your company. I don't sell you on a lot of stuff other people try to sell you on, so that you can give you a little bit and so you can keep coming back. I'm gonna give it to you. But then come hit me up if you hit that brick wall, or you just need that guidance. All right. So the answer to this question again is in my videos. I've profiled a lot of companies in the past 2-3 months for Final Mile that you can just sign up with. Amazon is good for the Northeast region, PA, NJ, NY, Massachusetts. Exactly. So that answered the question for that Connecticut, I guess, earlier. And I figured that. I hear that a lot. That's very good to know. Thank you. 10-4. Thanks. You answered my question. All right. 10-4. There's the link. Anybody want to come on the stream and holler at your boy? Final Mile seems like a great play. It would be hard to find helpers these days, though. You're definitely right. It's hard to find anything these days as far as workers, employees is concerned. I was on a consultation. It was yesterday, and I was telling a person, a mentee, that the secret to finding good people and keeping good people, all right, keeping good people, is you have to pay handsomely. You have to pay handsomely. You can't when you're looking at how much money you're making in a day, you can't expect to take home this much money. You really need to expect to take home this much money. All right. You need to pay your people handsomely. As long as you're making money, you need to be, you have to pay people good. Um, you have to. That's the only way you're gonna keep people nowadays. So if minimum wage is whatever it is, you gotta pay more than minimum wage. All right. You have to pay people now to the point where they're just happy, man. There's just so many opportunities out here now. And you got companies like Amazon, certain markets paying $25, $30 an hour. You got Uber, people driving Uber $38, $40 an hour. And this is depending on the markets. Not all markets are the same. You know, you got people doing all these gig jobs and they're making good money. You got people leaving corporate America to be professional, full-time gig workers. The pandemic really, the gig economy existed. It was building up to the pandemic, but what the pandemic did was put the gig economy on steroids. It was going to get to this point anyway, but the pandemic put it on steroids and pushed it out there because those were the only people working at the time. You know what I'm saying? So the gig economy just provides a lot of opportunity, which makes traditional businesses that have to go out and seek employees and train employees and invest money into onboarding and training employees. It just makes it difficult to even onboard them, bring them in. It also makes it difficult to keep them. It was a time where the employee was dependent on the employer, but now the roles are reversed. The employer is dependent on the employee. You damn near can't get fired no more. Like, I know people that work jobs, they shit on their jobs and they don't get fired. I was talking to one of my friends, and their daughter was working at McDonald's, and she late every day. Sometimes she goes, sometimes she didn't. They wasn't fired. People can't fire nobody no more because employees are just scarce. So people can get away with a lot more now on their job that they used to couldn't back in the day. People don't want to fire nobody because they know they need them. em, em, em- Employers are dependent on the employees now, so the roles have reversed. So the key to hiring, people in this industry and keeping them, not just hiring them but keeping them, you got to pay handsomely. You have to pay handsomely. I did a job, I told you guys early in the stream, I had to jump on a truck today, and it was a job we did. Since I was on a truck, I just went on ahead and cashed that guy out for the day, kept that job off the books. And I gave this guy, for a 4-hour job, I gave him $300, and that was way more than what he was expecting by a couple $100. But that was just to let him know that was my token appreciation. You out with the boss today, and since you out with the boss is out. You know, here I saw how he worked, and to show my appreciation to him, I said, "Man, here's $300 for 4 hours," and he couldn't thank me enough. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's showing you appreciation, but it's also like you got to kind of play this mind game too. You know what I'm saying? It's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like manipulation. It's like I want to be politically correct here. It's like oh man, I might have to come back to it. I can't think of the word, but you just gotta pay handsomely. You gotta let these guys know that you appreciate them, and that's the secret to keeping employees. I'm gonna have to come back. I couldn't think of that word, so I'm gonna have to come back to it. Appreciate it, will do. I really going to have to link up with you, Mark. Man, link up with me, man. Hit me in the Instagram on the DM. Yeah, I hear Amazon popping in Ohio. That's where I'm at, working on getting things popping within a month. Yeah, go for it, man. Now is the time. Peak season is upon us, so the volume will be increasing. I don't know by how much, but it'll definitely be increasing. You got Cyber Monday coming up. There's a lot of things coming up. So now is a good time to get uh in the final mile side, or with Amazon, I should say. Do they train at UST and you got it have experience? All right, so here's the thing with final mile. I'm gonna keep it funky, man. I always keep it funky, man. Ain't no cap. Ain't no cap. Ain't no cap over here. So I'm always keep it funky, man. Hey, man, I ain't get a chance to use none of my sound effects on this live stream. Hold on. Let me see.
Stop the cap, stop the
Stop the
cap,
cap.
stop the cap, stop the
All
cap,
right.
stop the
All
cap.
right. So ain't no cap over here, man. So I'm gonna keep it funky with the logistics companies when they onboard you. Do they train? Most of the time, no, because you're independent contractor. So what they'll say is when they're pitching, when you see these jobs on the job board, they say must have experience. But here's the thing: if you got a truck, they don't care about your experience. You got the truck, that's all they care about. You got the truck and you got the crew, right? Because these logistics companies are in dire need. At the end of the day, some shit fucks up when you're on that run. Excuse my language. I know I don't be cussing in my videos, but I cuss on my live stream. You're on that truck, some shit fucks up, right? The logistics company ain't paying that claim. That shit gonna roll downhill. It's gonna roll to you, right? So really, it's like they care, but they don't care. The only thing they care about is satisfying their customer, their client, which is whatever retail company they have this account with, right? So they'll say, yeah, you must have experience, but if you apply, you got the truck, you got the crew, they'll onboard you. All right. So as far as experience, if you don't have experience, you got to kind of get with somebody that does have experience, because final mile, and I say this all the time, it's high liability driven. It's high liability driven. It's high liability driven. Like you're delivering furniture, you're delivering appliances. All right. So a lot of these appliances, they vary from one stop to the next. You might have this one person, they might order a small top and bottom refrigerator for $600. What is that, 20 cubic feet? But then you may go to this another stop, right? And these people may order this big, huge Samsung with the French doors, the door on the side, door here, and the two doors you pull out, and then they got the one with the clear screen where you knock on it and it lights up. That's a $3,300 refrigerator. All right. So now you get here, you got to take the doors off. You got to take the doors off the apartment or the house. You got to take the doors off the refrigerator to get it in because the arm flares out. You can't get it in without scratching it up. You can't carry it in with the packaging on it because it's not going to fit through the door. So all that styrofoam at the top, all that styrofoam at the bottom, the styrofoam on the side, all that got to come off. 9 times out of 10, you had to take that off back at the logistics company because you needed the space on the truck because all that stuff, you had to remove that because you needed the space. You got a full load this day. So now, removed all this stuff. Now you basically carrying this refrigerator in bare, no wrapping because it's tight. You got to get it in. It's tight now. And you can't scratch it. It goes back to me saying you're trying to squeeze something the size of a watermelon, squeezing something the size of a watermelon into something the size of a lemon. And that's final mile. Now, once you get in the home, like I said earlier, you got to maneuver through different obstacles and stuff. Go up some stairs, go down some stairs. You got an island here. The old refrigerator got to come out and all that shit. Then you got to put the doors back on. All while you're not trying to scratch the floor and damage the walls. Can't scratch the floor now. Because if you scratch the floor, then that's a claim. So it's best to go into this with experience, but for the most part, a lot of people that are entering this game, they don't have the experience because they're new to the game, right? And these people aren't going to send you out for training. They're not going to send you out. They don't have like a training crew. All right, you're going to work with me to. No, man, they just throwing you out there. Because guess what? At the end of the day, if you damage some stuff, they're going to take it out your settlement. They're not paying for it. So that's another thing that you have to consider and you have to keep in mind when you're running final mile is the claims. You have to be very, 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 very careful. When you do in final mile, do they drug test you like JB Hunt, other companies? Yeah, so some companies do, some companies don't. So the way it works, some companies they'll go through the drug test or they'll go with the background. Most logistics companies that I've dealt with in the past and I deal with, they don't drug test you. They background check you. Um, but usually they just background check the contractor, the person who's on the contract. So if it's me, I'm the contractor, I send my guys. Now they may want to some companies will want to background check all the drivers and helpers. Some companies just be in dire need. They'll just background check you, put you into the system to satisfy the system as far as, taking that red flag off for this contractor, and then they'll just let you run your cruise because they're bombarded with an overload of freight. They're short ICs and they just need to get this freight out to satisfy that client, and they'll cut corners. So I'm telling you this now, a lot of logistics companies will cut corners if they're in dire need. They'll tell you, man, who got the clean background. You got the clean background, you're the contractor, you got the clean. All right, we're gonna run your background. Even though you're not gonna be on trouble, we're gonna run your background. And then once your background clears, then you can send your guys. So, but no, I haven't done a drop for a logistics company doing final mile with a box truck. No, just background checks. Thanks for explaining. No problem. All right. So, any more questions? I'm gonna drop this link. I think that's the last question. Was that the last question? There go the link. Any more questions? What time is it? 9:15. Any more questions? 9:15. Got on at 7:30. If not, then I'm gonna go ahead and go and get on up out of here. Appreciate everybody for checking in tonight. Like I said before, for the people that came in late, every Tuesday night, the Mentors podcast with me, Mark the Mentor, where we talk about everything box trucking. We're gonna talk about everything box trucking until we talk about everything trucking. And we may be talking about everything trucking sooner or later because I'm thinking about jumping into the trucking side with the semi trucks. I'm thinking about it. I've been leaning towards it. I'm still thinking about it. But for right now, this podcast will be everything box trucking every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. We're experimenting with some things, some layouts, and some other things, and we're gonna have people on the show and all that good stuff. I'm gonna try to build a great experience for you guys because I see that this lane in YouTube really needs clarity and truth. All right, clarity and truth, and it needs someone that's going to provide that clarity and truth in its rawest form without any gimmicks. And that's what I have been doing, and that's what I plan on continuing to do. And if I'm going to do it every Tuesday night, I might as well make it, the best experience possible, so it's not all over the place. And that's what we're going to do. So if there's no more questions, or something just popped up, hold on. Thanks for the information, King. I appreciate you. King Birds, I appreciate you for checking in. If ain't no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and check out for the night. So, man, and every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Time, the Mentors Podcast, where we're going to talk about everything box trucking. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Flexing ain't discreet